Welcome back to Low Buck Builds. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and get the ignition coil swapped out in our 2003 F150 project truck. In the first video, we did a quick walk around of the vehicle. I explained some of the known issues, and one of those, I believe, is a bad ignition coil. So we're going to go ahead and put the tester on the car and see what's going on and get it fixed. So stay tuned. I should have been a fishing YouTuber. So after replacing the fuse for the port, which is connected to the cigarette lighter in these trucks, I was able to pull up a code, and I was right. We got a cylinder 1 misfire. We also have a code for fuel. I think that might be just because this truck was sitting for 6 months. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and change out this ignition coil. So we lucked out. It's cylinder 1 that's bad in this truck, and that's the easiest one to get to. It's the front left on a Ford V8. So we're going to go ahead and get that swapped out. I ended up getting a coil and a plug at AutoZone. I could have got a whole set of coils for 120 bucks, but I wanted to get this done today and see if there was any other mechanical issues. So I went ahead and paid, I think, $70 for a coil and a plug. And the process is the same for pretty much any car that uses ignition coils. They usually have one bolt that holds them in. You just got to make sure whenever you pull them out and put them back on that you got to make sure the tube at the end is going over the top of the plug, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and get this cover off and get to it. So this uses three 10mm bolts. There's two on the right side and one on the left. So I went ahead and got a small ratchet and go ahead and get this cover off. The two on the right side are on each side of the vacuum hose. Once you get the two on the right, there's one on the left side, about the same position. This one's also a 10mm, and once we get this removed, then we can go ahead and remove this cover. Next, I disconnected all the electrical connectors. There's one on the actual coil itself, and then I went ahead and disconnected the one on the fuel injector by it just to make more room to work with. Next, using what I believe was a 7mm, went ahead and pulled the bolt off the coil. It's a long, fine threaded screw, so it takes a few minutes to get it out. And then you just go ahead and pull the coil out. Next, I went ahead and blew out the spark plug hole with some air just to make sure if there's any debris or anything, you don't want to pop the plug and then have it fall down into the motor. Next, we go ahead and grab our plug wrench and we'll go ahead and get this plug out of here. And this one wasn't seized too hard. If it takes too much of a turn, then you might have to soak some Coil or something in the hole overnight, but this one wasn't bad and came loose pretty easily. Once we get this plug out, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. We'll go ahead and read this plug. You can tell this motor was running really rich at one time, and some water got down into the threads. It's a little rusty. but we're gonna go ahead and put a new plug in here and see how it fires. Always make sure to check your gap when you get new plugs. This one's actually almost 50, and we need about 32 to 35 is where I usually set them. So after a quick adjustment, we got it running about 34, which is fine. Next, we'll go ahead and get this new plug inserted. I like to use a socket in to go ahead and get it started. And then after that, I'll snug it up with a ratchet. You don't want to go super tight. Again, don't over torque these, just snug will do. So this is the coil that I got from AutoZone. I think they were like $70, which is a little high, but I wanted them that day, so I went ahead and spent the money. You can probably find a whole set of these for 120 online, but this will get it going for the day. So when you install these, you want to make sure to do what you got to do to get the end of it down on the plug. You'll know when they're installed correctly because they'll come all the way down to this flush with the top surface. Once you're confident you got it installed correctly, go ahead and get your 7mm bolt and put it back in. And again, just snug these up. Don't over torque them. Don't go crazy. On these smaller bolts, I'll usually just use 2 fingers, so that way I don't have to worry about over torquing them. Next, go ahead and reinstall your electrical connectors. There should be one to the coil and there should be one to the fuel injector. If you disconnected it like I did, make sure those are reconnected and it'll be time to test it out. All right, we got it all back together. I'm going to drive it a few days. We'll see if those codes come back on, and I'll give you guys an update. Finished just in time. It's starting to get dark here. So in the next video, we're going to go ahead and start pulling this tailgate. I need to switch the handles out because this one's locked. I got this on Marketplace for, I think it was $65. And I also got a Marketplace bumper as well to throw on here. So if you guys want to see that video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But yeah, 126 miles so far, downtown South Bend miles, and no engine lights. Gas lights on because I need to put gas in it, but besides that, still running great. It was just that one coil.